And the first play from the 28-yard line, a four-man rush. The pass is caught up at the 34-yard line. He goes to Mason Taylor, the number 1 tight end. Robert Spillane makes the stop. 3rd and inches. Toss it back here to Hall. Gets around the corner and picks up a first down from the 48. After an 11-yard gain. Off play action. Rolling. Has some room to roam and then slides to a stop after a gain of 7. I say de facto because Terrence Williams, prostate cancer. And he right now is not with the team, so he takes over to score. Meanwhile, here goes Fields with all kinds of space and finally forced out inside the 35 by Robert Spillane. Running back is Isaiah Davis. The play clock's at 1, and they give it to Davis, and Davis is going to pick up a first down. So the backup back to the 20-yard line. Low snap, Fields has it, throws, caught to set up a first down and goal. Well, the 28th ranked offense working against the 6th ranked defense in terms of points allowed, and Fields around the corner. He'll get in for the score.
It's a zone read. He misreads this. He should have given this, but when you have this kind of speed, even when you misread it, you can outrun the end man on the line of scrimmage, Harold Landry. If he commits down, you pull it instead. He doesn't, and you still have the speed to get.
Go 5 wide here on 2nd and 10. Protection is good. Pass is good. And to the 39-yard line goes Stephon Diggs. Forward progress, a lot of action after the play. Jarvis Brownlee.
By the start of their season at 2-7, he has his team engaged and ready to compete tonight.
Henderson. Oh, and he might have broken it had he not been tackled 7 yards past the line of scrimmage by Brandon Stevens. He had need 2. Got it to the 30-yard line.
It's Diggs and these receivers against this secondary of the Jets in man coverage.
Well, you know, Brady did average 1.1 yards per rush in this game. 9-yard pickup here for Henderson. 13th play of the drive after the Jets scored on a 14-play drive. Flip it back here, turning inside, spinning his way all the way into the end zone is Henderson for the touchdown.
Watch 72. Nobody touches him. Boom, underneath him. Little spin move right into Sherwood, who's their best tackler. Offensive line gets behind him. Bunch of semi-trucks.
Williams, 97, back in. They rush an extra man. The pass is caught, but short of the first down. Bruins had their moment as well. Meanwhile, here's May on play action. Fires, caught over the middle to the 42-yard line goes Hunter Henry. Just like that. Protection good, steps up in the pocket, throws, catch made, and once again it's the tight end Hunter Henry. 9th season in the league. Play clock was at 1. To the left side he goes, right along the sidelines. Flag is thrown. Hollins is there for the grab. Ben Brown comes in as an eligible offensive lineman. To the outside and cutting through and going all the way to the end zone is Trevion Henderson. 2 touchdowns for him. 14 unanswered, up by 7 with 7:54 to go. 3rd down and 2. 2 minutes to the half. Fields throwing, and it's incomplete to it outside of Mitchell. He had a spin around, couldn't haul it in. That's the Patriots' first penalty of the game. May stepping up, climbs the pocket, pass is low but caught. And out to the 45 goes Henderson. Ball at the 50. May hangs in the pocket, deep downfield, and it is almost picked. And incomplete. Stiggers is back there.
Thomas down with an injury.
May checks it down to the 39. Goes Henderson. They'll call it a timeout.
He's just not able to get that going.
13 seconds. Diggs. He takes that for a first down 45-yard field goal attempt. Borregales, his kick is no good. Score 14-7 New England. It is the State Farm halftime show. Come on. May fires, it's caught. That Diggs is going to be stopped short of the first down.
Obviously a big factor on that opening series. There you go.
Here he goes again. Room to roam. Picks up the first down before he's knocked out of bounds. Fields dumps it down. Inside Patriot territory. Isaiah Williams to the 48. Tackle there by Christian Gonzalez. Now we have another flag. Start this drive from the 31-yard line. May, 15 of 19 to this point. Now he's 16 of 20. Leaping catch made by Mac Hollins for a first down. Look out from behind. He feels the pressure. Hits the open man. That's Diggs inside the 30. Another big gainer for a first down. Tackle there by Tony Adams. Pickup of 22.
It's at intermediate level.
Rolling right. And then throws. Caught by Diggs inside the 20 to the 10-yard line.
The tight ends, Hunter Henry, that time in motion with a good crack block.
2nd and 5. Pump fake. Throws. Open. Caught. Touchdown. The hat trick for Henderson.
It's on the back end, and Drake May, what a drive for him in this offense. And a lot of these plays were like this. Two defenders take Diggs, and it leaves a wide open Trevion Henderson out of the backfield. And look at him. He wants to go to Diggs, and then he comes off of him and eventually finds Henderson, who leads
from the 42. Over the middle. Caught. Once again, it's a tight end. This time it is Ruckert. 6 minutes remaining in the third. To the outside goes this pass. This is John Mechie. Jennings coming in to take his spot, at least for the moment. Rolling left, throwing, caught, and Hole is out of bounds. 3rd down 6. Extra pressure. Fields slides away. Throwing. Wide open. Touchdown to John Mechie. So under pressure, sent extra men, 22 yards, finds the open man. It's a 1-score game. Hanging in, down by 7 in Foxborough. Third down and 10. May throws, caught on the run and falling down. Was he touched? Douglas gets up, picks up a few more. Jets say he was touched.
There's a very strong chance they get to at least 13 wins.
3rd down and 5 here. They convert again. Diggs inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
Kind of like Henderson. He can catch the ball to the backfield, too.
Johnson stays in there. Fake to him. Look out. And they finally get to May. Jermaine Johnson busting through. Gets the sack. 10-yard sack. 3rd down and 15. May. Short gain here. That was the first sack of the night of May. First sack of the game period tonight. To try to extend the lead to 10. Borregales' kick is good.
The way he communicates with his guys. There's different ways to do it. He's being himself.
Here's Hall. Well, 3rd down and 2. Fields, can he get around the corner? Well, he almost gets to the line to gain. Let's see where they mark it. But a nice spin move by him, and it is a first down.
Set, and trying to prove themselves.
3rd and 12. Fired over the middle, and that's incomplete.
you're in trouble. Under pressure tonight, 9 of 10 for 113 and a touchdown.
Well, you saw those numbers as May throws. Another completion here. Diggs having a big night. Diggs is now over 100 yards. So May 19 yards shy of 100. Meanwhile, that play is taken care of in the backfield by Demario Douglas. It's Tyler Barrett. Deep drop. Long throw. He's got Hollins. Can't make the catch. Brandon Stevens right there to help break it up.
He was beat. Great throw. How about the deep ball accuracy? We've seen this all year on a deep post. Ball's already in the air. Look at this. It's on the money. And right there, he finishes it just like you're coached. Stevens, who came over from Baltimore, he's beat, but doesn't get...
In each of the last 2 years. It's dropped by Fields, and now it looks like New England has recovered. We'll wait for the call from Eck, and indeed they have.
Get everybody pulling in the same direction.
Yeah, they talk about the it factor. 3rd down and 7. The pass is, well, what is incomplete. So the rookie, Borogalis, will try to extend the lead to 27-14, and he does with 6.5 to go. Just throwing it out there. Here's Fields, back to pass, and he's going to get sacked.
That's what I'm saying. When they get down 13 and they start dropping back in the pocket. And
I think that's his first sack since 2023. He was dancing the night away. Fields almost gets sacked again. Fires. That's caught up at the 37-yard line to Mason Taylor.
Valuable player. Spent a lot of money on him.
A lot of money. 3rd and 8. Fields avoids the sack. Fields is going to take off. Fields looking for that first down marker and might have gotten there. Fields open, caught to the 33-yard line. They convert here. John Mechie makes that grab. First down. Fields surveying. Going to take off again. Going to get the first down again. And out of bounds, he steps at the 20-yard line. Stepped away, 3rd down and 2. Fields under pressure. Down he's going to go at the 15, setting up a 4th down. It would behoove them to get the playoff, and they do before the 2-minute warning. And that's going to be incomplete. Had it for a moment. Del Pettis broke it up. Intended for Ruckert there. Turn it over on downs, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning.
The other thing is, whether you're a practice squad guy or Drake May, he treats everyone the exact same.
3rd down and 3, and squirting his way. Henderson. So that's the way it ends tonight in Foxborough. First game of week number 11, 27-14, New England on Thursday Night Football.